This is Life According to Bruno. World War I, explained in 6 minutes. Welcome to this educational tour of one of the most important events in history, World War I. In this video, we will explore the causes, key events, and impact of this global conflict, all in 6 minutes. Get ready to discover how this war transformed the political, social, and technological landscape of the 20th century and paved the way for the modern world. To understand the First World War, we must look at Europe at the beginning of the 20th century, a continent rife with political, economic, and territorial tensions. The causes are grouped under the acronym MAIN. Militarism. The major European powers engaged in an arms race. This increased distrust and preparation for a full-scale war. Alliances. Treaties between countries meant mutual support in case of conflict. The most important blocs were the Triple Entente, France, Russia, and the United Kingdom, and the Triple Alliance, Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. Imperialism. Competition for territories in Africa and Asia intensified rivalries. Each country sought to expand its influence. Nationalism. National pride and the desire for independence in some regions, such as the Balkans, exacerbated the political landscape. On June 28, 1914, the assassination of Franz Ferdinand, heir to the throne of Austria-Hungary in Sarajevo, set off a chain of events. Austria-Hungary blamed Serbia, and thanks to the system of alliances, the conflict quickly escalated to involve the major European powers. The first weeks of the war were marked by the execution of Germany's Schlieffen Plan, designed for a quick victory over France by invading through neutral Belgium. However, what was intended as a quick war soon turned into a protracted and irreparable conflict. One of the most notorious features of World War I was trench warfare, especially on the Western Front. Soldiers spent months living in trenches, facing cold, disease, and constant bombing. This led to a stalemate where millions died for small territorial gains. The First World War was fertile ground for the development of new war technologies. Machine guns, capable of eliminating hundreds in minutes. Chemical gases, such as mustard gas, which caused horrible effects. Tanks, a rudimentary but effective solution for overcoming trenches. Aircraft and submarines, new strategic uses on the battlefield and at sea. These innovations not only intensified the devastation, but also marked the beginning of modern warfare. Although most of the fighting was concentrated in Europe, this was a global war. Colonies in Africa, Asia, and Oceania were involved. In addition, soldiers from countries such as India, Australia, and Canada fought under the orders of their colonial powers. The conflict was not confined to Europeans, but involved people and resources from all over the world. There were several decisive moments that changed the course of the war. The Battle of Verdun, a symbol of the weariness and determination of both sides. The Battle of the Somme, characterized by its high cost in human lives and evidence of stagnation. The Russian Revolution. It caused Russia to leave the conflict, weakening the Eastern Front. And during this time, in 1917, the United States entered the war, adding fresh troops and unmatched resources that tipped the balance in favor of the Allies. Key reasons included the sinking of civilian ships, such as the Lusitania, by German submarines, and the Zimmermann telegram, which sought an alliance between Germany and Mexico against the United States. The war affected not only soldiers, but civilians as well. At home, economies were mobilized to prioritize military production. Women replaced men in factories, laying the groundwork for future labor and gender rights movements. Rationing regulations and propaganda became tools to maintain support for the war effort. By the way, if you've made it this far and are enjoying this educational content, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for your support. On November 11, 1918, Germany agreed to an armistice after facing military exhaustion, internal crisis, and the advance of Allied forces. Although the guns fell silent, the wounds of war were far from healed. In 1919, the Treaty of Versailles was signed, which officially ended the war. The conditions were harsh for Germany. Impossible to pay economic repairs. Significant territorial losses. Strict limitations on your military. Although this treaty was intended to prevent another conflict, many believe it planted the seeds of World War II by humiliating Germany and fostering resentment. World War I transformed the world. He redrew European borders and gave rise to new nations. He established international organizations such as the League of Nations, precursor of the UN. It generated significant technological advances in various fields. Socially, the war marked the role of women in modern societies and left a traumatized generation, known as the Lost Ones. World War I was much more than a military conflict. It was an event that forever changed the way the world operates. It taught us important lessons about diplomacy, international cooperation, and the cost of war. Thank you for joining us as we explored this fascinating topic. If you found it interesting, don't forget to check out the description of this video to find the tools we use to create our videos and also support our work by buying us a coffee. You'll help us continue creating educational content for you. See you in our next video where we will continue exploring history and its fascinating lessons. Until next time.